Morning, 20 to 8 in the morning on February 19th. We just parked the truck on Alpine, Maine, and we're going to take the quad hopefully all the way to the trailhead and make a go at Freda Mountain. So that's the plan for the day. Should be all right. Like right now, it looks cloudy. It was snowing on the way up, and there was a few logging trucks and flatbeds and stuff coming up, but it wasn't too bad. We probably have about maybe 3 or 4 inches of snow right here. Should be a ton up on the mountain. Anyways, we'll talk to you a little bit further along. Hang on for dear life. It'll work better. So I have to say that was a successful quad ride. We made it all the way to the trailhead here. A lot of guys on their quads will go further up the hill, but yeah, we're not here for quad riding. We're here for hiking. So yeah, it is. That took about over half hour to get here. So it's 8:15, or so a little bit past that. Anyways, we're hoping it's not going to be too difficult going up this snow. It's pretty deep, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we'll see ya a little bit further up the trail. Well, let's see, we're 1.5 hours from trailhead, and we're getting up close to being in the Alpine. It was snowing for the first hour of the hike, which was quite unexpected, I must say. It was like, oh my goodness, what have we got ourselves into? But it's really good now. See that blue sky? All the clouds aren't gone yet, but they're going to be by the time we get up there. So yeah, we've got in the trees here only about a foot of fresh powder, but once we get out into the open, it's probably about 2 feet of fresh snow, which we're gonna have to slog up to get up the hill. But you know what? The actual snow itself isn't the worst kind. It's got enough structure to it that you don't sink all the way up to your knees, so it's good. So yeah, we'll maybe talk to you again when we get up to the bowl up there, but so far so good. Now just a little bit further up the trail, and just come across what looks to be either lynx or bobcat tracks. So we're not the only ones having a good time up in the backcountry. I bet you the little guys out hunting for a snowshoe hare or something tasty like that up here in the mountains. That's the only thing they have to eat, I would imagine, unless they're small rodents. But yeah, so we're not quite to the bowl yet. We're another maybe half hour. So, but we're doing all right. This is the snow is it's beautiful, but it's, you know, we are sinking in probably, I'd say, a foot. So once we get onto the slopes, it'll probably be, well, it changes when you get on the slopes. You sink in probably another 6 inches or so. So we'll see how that is when we get up there. Not to worry though, it's all good. It's all part of the fun and excitement in Powell River Backcountry. Most wonderful place on earth. I mean, how can you complain about this? Just gorgeous. I mean, we've been waiting for snow for quite a while, and finally we got it. We've been waiting to go up Freda for months, and here it is. So we are expecting it to be perfect blue skies when we get to the top. Kind of a neat little edge here. I decided to take just for fun. Sinking it up to your knees on the mountainside of that, but hey, pretty cool. Yeah, so you can just barely see Freda Lake down below us. And you got Swim Mountain in the boot. And look at Freda, she's poking her head out there, up there, just beckoning us to go up the hill, which I think we shall do. What do you think about that? Yes. We are climbing up out of the bowl, and instead of going around to an exposed face on the south side there, we usually, depending on the snow conditions, we go straight up the bowl. And for those of you that are concerned, the avalanche danger is at the lowest setting today, so the snow is nicely bonded. There's no sign of any kind of sloughing or anything at all. So we're getting pretty fortunate in that area, but boy, climbing up this hillside, going up to our knees in the snow is making for a whole ton of work, as you can see. I just take a step or two here so you can see what kind of fun I'm having. We're just actually starting to round over the hill just a tiny bit, so it's a little bit easier right now than it has been. But I'll tell you what, it's a good thing we're so young, you know, because otherwise this would be too much work. Anyways, we'll see you further up the hill. Well, it took a bit. We finally made it to the ridge. All we have to do is climb the ridge to the top. Oh my goodness, I totally underestimated the snow conditions. My goodness. It's really tough going. I don't know, we're like about 4.5, 5 hours in already. So we'll have time to just make it to the top and then scoot back down so we get down before it gets dark. Yeah. Well, we'll see you up the top. Well, As you can see, we made it to the top of Freda. It was no easy hike today, but I think that was one of the toughest we've done in a number of years. We're just going to check the time and see what it took us. That's 5 hours and 46 minutes. Like, that's even longer than the last time we were up here. I said it took us 2 hours 35, and I said it can take up as long as 5.5. I said, well, it's 5 hours 46. So, but my goodness, that was really grueling in a good way. You know what I'm saying? What a day. Well, cheers to everybody down there in beautiful Powell River from up here on Freda Mountain on February the 19th, 2026. As you can see, the clouds are kind of moving back in a little bit again, and we just put the flag up to celebrate Canada winning against Czechia yesterday, and to give a cheers to the Canadian women who lost in overtime to the Americans. What a game that must have been. Of course, we were hiking up the mountain, so we didn't get to see it, but I imagine it must have been absolutely amazing because Canada couldn't score a goal last game. But anyways, cheers from us on the top of Freda Mountain, Powell River Backcountry. just heading off the top here. Okay, we were up there for like 10 minutes and boy did we get a chill. Had just a tiny little bit of coffee and flew the drone for about 5 minutes. And now we're going down the ridge here. But that's pretty cool, wouldn't you say? I think it's a pretty nice view. And boy, talk about way easier than going up. My goodness. I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but it's like walking with giant pillows on the bottom of your feet when you're going down in snow like this. And you know, the beautiful thing about this kind of snow too, when there's no avalanche danger, that, you know, if you were to slip and fall on your butt, you wouldn't go anywhere. Stay right there. So it's all good and safe. It's too bad it was so difficult getting up here. But like I said before, I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation. There's Karen back up there having some pictures. But yeah, Freda Mountain, middle of winter. I'm guessing there's probably about maybe 8 to 10 feet of snow on the top of Freda by the looks of it, because all the rock piles are covered, and yeah, so it's not typical. Usually quite often there's 15 feet or so, maybe not very top, but on some of the faces. We're just about to go off of the ridge down to the bowl down here. So you can see that's the way we came up, and it probably took us, you know, this was from here to get to the top of the mountain, probably an hour and 20 minutes. Took us, I bet you, no more than 15 minutes to get back down to here. So awesome. Coming down is so much better. Oh, we're just going to go down this last little steep pitch down into the bowl. Of course, we're going to go down a different way because it's easier going down. Anyways. What you doing over there?
Trying to get up.
Just not the right conditions, eh? You know, one of those toboggans of ours would be just absolutely fantastic flying down here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I think I need help getting up.
Well, I don't know if I can get over there.
Man.
Okay, if you can get a little closer, you can grab my hand.
Oops.
You know, it's actually still work even going downhill when you're doing that, but man, I tell you, it's just like it's got to be 10 times faster than going up. Has to be. Well, it's 5 o'clock, almost 5 o'clock, and we got back down the mountain. We left the top of the mountain at 2:30, which so it took us less than 2.5 hours to get to the quad, and that included a 15-minute stop for flying the drone. Anyway, so 5 3/4 hours to the top, 2 and I guess 1/4 hours to get down to the quad. Man, I tell you, we were beat. We are absolutely thrashed. And thankfully we got down here before it started getting too cold and too dark. I don't see Karen in there. You see it? You can flip up your visor, Karen, so we can see you. Ah, there you are. Hey. Anyway, so that was quite the day. I would have to say that ranks up there with being probably maybe the toughest snowshoe that we've ever done. That was unbelievable. Like, I mean, you could have gave me a nickel a few times on the way up to turn around, and I would have said, "You bet you pay up." Anyway, so we're done for the day. See you on the next one.